Mate, not sure. Is it on? Yeah, I think it is. Well, if it isn't, it is now. Welcome to my show. And as always, turn on the torch, light up the flame. Time to melt some glass, my friends. There you are. Here I am to explain, to teach, and create again. Right? Right. Um, Thank you. I'm a little late. I had two good excuses. Had to go turn on the actual um, internet, and I was taking a nap right beforehand and I overslept. Sue me, right? Now, anyway, thanks for being here, guys. And at this point, it looks like nobody's here but me, but that's okay. I'll take it as a good idea. And thank you for always being there. Um, Today, I said I was going to do another mini goblet. I still have to get uh, Gabe's to him. It's my own darn fault. Um, I have a tie pin. I found it while I was cleaning and then set it aside, and you'd think I'd be able to find it. No. And that's why I haven't sent it to him yet, but it's going to get there soon. Um, and while I'm deciding on what type of actual animal the goblet is going to be made out of, I think I'm just going to start the goblet and go from there. And I'm going to turn on the fan slightly. I need just a little bit of air circulation going on. So we're gonna hopefully that'll make a difference in here. Now we there? We there? Ah, like I said, I took a quick nap because these are my. I go to usually work from 10 in the morning till 7 at night. No, 7 at night. 10 at night till 7 in the morning. So definitely, I am. I wouldn't say a little screwed up, but definitely my waking hours and everybody else's waking hours are a little different. Okay. 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 And of course, what I really need is misplaced at the moment. I've got a little coupling here that's not showing up. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle, or somebody else's uncle at this rate. It was a red stopper that I was been using to connect this to. So that's going to be a little hard to make the goblets, but we'll get there. Okay. Hello, people. I'm glad you finally showed up. Thank you. And we're going to start the goblet, and we're going to make the parts to the goblet first. Oh, what do you know? I got to go turn on the propane too. I'm in good shape. All you have to do is type and say hi in the chat room, and I'll be there. I have it in front of me, so we're going to see if it will work. I'm going to use some tape here to hold this in place. When in doubt, use what you got available, and maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. We'll see. Okay. No, that'll work for the time being. All I need is a piece of tubing to connect to. I've got the propane on now. Let's see if we can't get some. There we go. Ha 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 ha. I'm going to switch over to the other camera. And if you have suggestions on what type of goblet that you'd like to see me do tonight, we'll get there. There we go. There's the webcam shot. No, there it goes. Webcam shot. And again, right now I'm going to do the blank parts to the goblet, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. We've got it clear to begin with, but I think I'm going to use some. There we go. Might help if I put the didymiums on so that I don't burn my eyes out. Okay. Let's see here. Nope, 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 nope. I'm going to use this silver fume base to begin with, and we'll go from there. Might help if I have the end of the tubing in my mouth. And if anybody has anything to say, type it in the chat room. We'll go from there. I'll be on. Well, of course. I did it with the tape. It's leaking, but it'll do the. Oh, that's the problem. Never mind. There should be enough to do the base and the top. Base and top of the goblet that I want to do. I might add a little bit more as we go along. So, first we're going to do the goblet part, and then we'll do the base. It's got some nice silver fume swirls going on. This is some tubing that I did a little while ago. I have no idea when, but it'll do the job. Type in the chat room and say hi when you want to say something, and we'll go from there. Right now, I know a couple of people are watching, which is a good thing. All right, right. Here we go. I'm warming up about what I want to use for the goblet cup. And now we're going to blow it up a little bit and blow it out slightly. And we're getting there. Going to give it just a little bit more width there. Blowing it out slightly. Puff, puff, puff. Not heavy duty, but there we go. And I'm probably going to make the edge of the cup right here. I'm going to add probably a cobalt blue or a green there to the. There's that. Now I'm going to blow that out right about here. There we go. Now it's to try to make the rim of this goblet. Tweezers. A little bit thick right here. I'm going to pull it out and burn it off. And the rest looks pretty much even. Okay, here we go. Right now, all I'm running on is the 10 liter per minute concentrator, but I probably will kick it up a little, kick it up a notch when I start doing the animal to the goblet. Ah, itch on my foot. Sorry about that, folks. Ah, we're getting skaters out here. We're working. That's all we're at. Yeah, then skaters, they get kind of thick and mean when they get hungry. And my blood is quite thick and mean to get hungry on. Right? Okay. Looks like it's flaring out quite nicely. Oops, I see. Hey, crazy. What do you got to say? I got to put my other glasses on to see what I'm saying here. Itch happens, yeah. I like it. And somebody else said something, and of course, my mouse dropped into the floor when I went to scratch, and it might have been crazy saying hello, and I didn't see it. Sorry. Yeah, it was crazy. Sorry about that. Yeah, I like making these miniature mini goblets that my source Garrett Oaks do, and of course I just think I screwed up where I've been making this. There was a thinner wall going on, but we'll get it all straightened out. There we go. Stretch it out a little more here. Oh, pretty. Yeah, it was a little bit thinner wall right about here where I'm touching it now, but I'll get it there. Of course, the graphite rods that I'm using are getting a little warm. Can you see what I'm doing? No, you can't. Dang it. Let me bring this a little bit more into view so you can see what I'm doing with the Marvel on top of the machine. I mean the torch. There we go. I get it all nice and even. Okay, this is going to be the top of the goblet. try to do this one more time. Oh yeah, that's better. It's getting there. What type of torch you going to be getting, Crazy? I see you mentioned that. A little bit bigger than the one you got, I assume. You could make a smaller goblet on the torch that you use. Okay, that's about ready. Oh, and another thing that I got recently, I actually started getting a tool that I can use here, right? There we go. Get it into place. I'll put a little bit of a ball going down here. Okay, well, it'll do you justice. It'll do you justice. The Red Max. I was intending to go to the gas conference this weekend, but turns out my car decided to need some work on it. So there went that money up and down the drain. Well, not down the drain, but yeah, they're from Mountain Glass, I believe, for about $20. The grabbers that I'm using here. Okay, we're going to use that. We're going to hold that and let that be just as it is. Oops. Now we're going to do the base. Basically, do the same thing that we just did for the for the rest of it. Three things to do and 5 minutes to do it all in. Any requests or ideas that you'd like to see me make the goblet into? I mean, it's still a blank with what I could put on it. Or should I say an open slate? Because again, that's what I like about my work is that it's not only what I can do, it's what everybody, the people in the audience's input that makes it even better. Okay, we're going to put a cold weld right about that. Not a cold weld. This is going to be a good weld. There we go. Now I'm going to try to do a Maria here. Press it and pull it, push it out for the width of the base. And flare it out even better later, but there's some swirls of silver in there, so I'm going to give it a swirl. Stingray. Interesting idea. Why not? Let's see what I can do. I'm going to blow it out right here. Okay. Stingray, huh? Who said you could speak? Only kidding. Let it blow into itself a little bit. Trying to keep the outer rim. I might have to do another rim here. This seems to be not working. We'll see. Actually, turning out better. I don't know what I just did, but I did it. Hopefully, I'm still there. Can you guys hear me? Okay. There you go. Oops. Pressed it hard enough and it came down. Okay, good. You can still hear me. What happened is I somehow pressed the mute button on this headset that I had, and I just wanted to make sure that it didn't completely knock out, but we'll get there. Okay. Now, maybe if I tilt, I don't know. Like, 3,000 things, and somehow, excuse me for a second. There we go. Stingray, huh? Let's see what we can do. That's a little bit too much. Sorry, people. Trying to adjust, and it's still twisting where it wants to go. There we go. Stay. Okay. Since we've got it silver going on, we'll see. Sorry about the earthquake here. We'll get there. Since we got silver going on, I guess I can use silver for the actual stingray also. Um, it'll actually, that might work it. We'll use the same idea that we did for the rim, but we'll make a stingray out of it at the same time. And then I have a nice tail that I can come out with here with some silver fuming going on there. So this is going to turn out pretty interesting. Already starting to congeal, I guess you can say. Um, looks like we got about 4 or 5 people in the audience. Thank you for showing up. Working on, and Crazy came up with the idea for a Stingray mini goblet. So a Stingray mini goblet it shall be. Let's see if we can make it work, right? You know, I think I might have to flare it out a little bit here first. So we're going to seal this down. Okay. Take that one off, and we got to put the other one on here. I'm trying to attach this to the blow hose the hard way. My little rubber connector is MIA at the moment. so I have to try to make something work. Right, right. Yeah, that might work. Enough to give me pressure anyway. We'll see. Now I'm going to make a Maria and press this out like I did the rim for the. Oh, it didn't work. Tape just dropped right off. Maybe if I add more tape, right? That might be an idea. Another little rim of tape here. Be patient with me as I have a few technical difficulties, right? There we go. Thanks for showing up, guys, and I appreciate you being there. I hope you enjoyed the show. It looks like we're going to make a stingray goblet. Right now, I'm going to flare out and blow out the stingray using the same method that I made the rim and the bowl to the goblet. I just have to flare it out and flatten it out more. That's all. Oh yeah, that's going to do it nicely so far. Round this in a little bit more. I'm going to hold on to it right here for now, but I'll probably pull it off later. Okay, this should work. Let's try it out. There we go. Doesn't look like a stingray yet, but give it. Let me give it a little bit of TLC going on here. It may be a little awkward and look funny. This is where the playing with it now and loving it into the right positions. Okay, pull that off. Oh, that got a little thin, but it'll roll down into itself. Put a cold weld right here. There we go. Well, not a cold weld, but a good weld to hold on to it. Tilt this back a little bit so you can see what's going on for the stingray. Let gravity work for me and let the bump to this stingray sort of roll into itself. There we go. I'm going to pull this side out a little bit. And the other side a little bit. And bring it into shape here. Ah, those skeeters are getting my feet real good. Ah, I'm going to have to use more repellent, right? Hopefully it's not lady repellent, just mosquito repellent, huh? It's getting there. It almost looks like a horseshoe crab at the moment to me, but we're getting there. Oh, yeah. This might be needed to shrink slightly. Let it reduce a little bit, as it were. There we go. It's flattening out a little bit. You work the medium in its optimal capacity, and you can make it work for you instead of against you. And it's flaring out and doing quite well. Reducing down, getting a little thicker as I go. Still trying to pull it out as I go too. It's almost there. Okay. We got about 6 or 7 people in the audience. I'm one of them, so it's got to be about 6 people. That's a good thing. If you have any questions while I'm working, or have some input while I do what I'm trying to do, never hurts to talk. Type it in the chat room, and I'll see what I can do with coming up and answering your questions as I go. Um, Now we're letting it flow towards the back end here, and as I do that, it is reducing down. It was a little thinner towards the back end, and I'm still trying to keep that stingray shape going on, which is basically a diamond sideways, right? Right. Flatten it a little bit. Oh yeah, very good, very good. If I knew what I was doing, I'd be dangerous, right? Okay, now we're gonna put the tail on. I'm looking at the size of the goblet and stuff. It's pretty much where I want it to be. And with this tail, it's going to look really good too. It might be a smaller goblet than the actual Stingray, but we're still going to put it together. Now, I'm trying to think, do the Stingrays have that just a pointed tail, or do they have that like shark tail in the back. I'm thinking both ways here, and I can't think. Okay, we're gonna put a weld here at the back so I can work on the front a little bit. Put the eyes and the little mouth parts going on. Okay. There we go. I'm not going to do much more to this. People don't know what it is. The arrow point. Oh, okay. Now, did the arrow point go up and down or side to side? Next question. I don't have a. I should have done a sting. Pulled up a picture of a stingray in front of me. I'm going to do it side to side, and I can twist it if I have to. Like so. Looking good to me. Okay. Now we're going to put, so like I did with the sea turtle, I'm going to put an off-center edge to the bottom and an off-center edge to the top for the base. Let's give him a riding a little bit to the side. I'm going to put this on this side here. It's going to be on the left side on the bottom and the right side on the top. There we go. What I'm doing is sort of making sure that I'm sealing that in really well. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect that back again. That's one way that you can make sure that you're doing a good seal all the way around. Okay, we're going to get it right to about there. And now the right front on the other side. Yeah, crocodile wanna. It's gonna be a little off center from that, but it's gonna do the job, and we're gonna do this to the top here. Seal it in real well. Matter of fact, like I did the last time, I'll pull it off, seal around it. And this isn't going to be very much taller or higher. Here we go. We're good. And tilt that to this side and keep the bottom area a little bit and tilt that to that side. Trying to give it a There we go. Now, putting the base on, and we'll work from there afterwards. Warming it in, sealing it up. It's causing a little bit of a distortion factor going on, but I'll warm it in and make it look right in the long run. There we go. Stay! And like talking English to it's going to help. Okay, how we're doing on base. It should hold up the whole thing, which is good. And now we're going to warm in the bottom, the top here. And then I'm going to probably fire polish it all up together. Almost there. Here we go. I can't tell you how, but you do learn. And it's all only through hand-eye coordination. Your eye sees the right color and when to put it together. To get it just right. Oh yeah, we got a little off center here. But it still should do quite well. Tilt that upward. I'll drink to that. Yeah. Yeah, we got a S-curve this top here. More towards the center of the piece itself. There we go. Oops. Yeah, now we got it. A little bit better under control. Now we're going to hold it by the grabbers on the very bottom. And it's going to be off center. I know it's going to be off center, but I want to try to get it better. There we go. Getting there. I'm almost through with this. If you have a suggestion or an idea that you would like to see me do next, I have I have an hour or so to go here. We don't have to make it an hour, 2 hour long show, but never hurt to. Oh yeah, when it's cooler and I can touch the actual. Well, no, let's do this. It's warm now. It's still just a little off center from what I want it to be. This is the best time to do anything when it's nice and warm still. There we go. It's a little off center now, but doing a lot better than it was. Tilt that up so you can see more of the firing out. You know, I'm beginning to like these goblets. The way I'm making them is a little on the archaic side, but they have a lot of flair to them that I'm enjoying the actual, I guess you could say, work of doing them. Um, question: any request? Thank you, Crazy. I'm glad you've been there. Uh, uh, I'm up for it. You tell me, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, I think I'll make a couple of these short pieces into longer pieces, or something like that, or make some blue stringers. Oh, why not? Now, when you're making stringers, it's actually feeding. I call it feeding the glass, and it'll come in handy when you're doing like the fold and pull and making stringers for another. You're heating it up in one spot, and where it's already melted, you're pulling from that spot and making it into a nice thin stringer. And again, you're heating up in one spot and pulling from just outside of where you just heated up. And you just keep it going until you say, okay, that's long enough. And most of the time, you try to get it nice and thin, but there are going to be some times where it gets thick, thin, thick, thin. That's when the temperature of the glass is not even all the way through your pull. In other words, it's heated up a little bit until you take it out and pull, and then it cools down, and then you put it back in, and it heats back up and thins out a little bit, thick and thin. But the idea is to keep it going. Any requests? Elephants, cats, mice, swans, bears, whales, snails, unicorns, dolphins. Thanks for the idea for the stingray. I really enjoyed the adventure there. Um, so let's go from there. I'm going to do one more of these. And if I have no requests from the audience. Now, if you're watching this on your cell phone, I've learned that if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can see where it says live chat, and you click on that, and then you can type in or even voice, if you've got the microphone capability where it, listens to you. I've done this a couple of times. That's why I know what I'm doing. Well, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm trying really hard. Yep, that's the way that works. Okay, we got about 4 or 5 stringers. Let's I'm going to start another goblet, but I'm not going to actually do the goblet part until later. And I'm going to use those stringers that I just did for the base of the piece itself when I do the goblet, but I'm just going to play with it for right now. A snail goblet. How about a snail? I'm going to put some flair to it. I could try to do you a snail goblet later if you're interested, Demented. But I will do a snail. And I'm going to do it with I've got some nice silver fumed if I want to use. No, that's some yeah, that's some amber purple there. I've got reds. I've got blues. I've got greens. Let's use some green exotic here. It's actually hollow that I'll make the shell out of, and hopefully I'll try to keep it hollow and curl it as I go. This will be a little bit different than what I usually do for these snails, because usually I make it out of a solid piece and do the twisting as I go, but this will be different. Right? Right. I'm going to start the curl, and again, this is a hollow piece of tubing, and I'm just doing this without blowing into it at the moment. I might have to add a little blowing. Matter of fact, yeah, I have to add a little blowing. Oops. There we go. I think I added the tape just about right. See if we got some. See if we got some pressure in there. Yeah, we got some pressure. Not a lot, but just enough. Now I'm going to try to start curling this, rolling it along. I might end up putting the snail on a goblet, but at this point I'm just going to make a snail, okay, guys? Yeah, I'm curling it as I go. Hopefully this will work. Touching it too now. The curl isn't as tight as I wanted it to be, but it's still going to do the deal. The fun of trying and the challenge. There we go. A little bit more. Right to there. And I'm going to flare it out right here. Press it out a little Maria type deal for the opening. There we go. Flare up that opening. Yeah. Looking good so far. Practice, practice, and more practice. Okay, this is the opening to the snail shell. And this is all green exotic. So let's make the body either blue, yeah, or the silver fumed rod. I think that's what it's going to be. Silver fumed rod. Where'd you go? Whistling. It's going to jump in my hand, right? Oh, yeah. Here we go. Now with this, I'm going to try to leave the snail shell still a little open because that's the way I like to do my hollow pieces. That leaves a little bit of a not a vacuum, but a place that the actual um, well, actually, yeah, I'm going to leave the whole shell open. Actually, it's going to look funny on the bottom, but it's going to do the job. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, this is going to be the tail here. After looking at the body itself, I guess I should have done this up here, like so. It's just a little bit out of. Okay, here we go. We're going to add some more to this snail. This is looking interesting. I do enjoy the challenges you guys give me. I do. Instead of using just my imagination, I use your imagination and mine together. I tell people uh, that by my work, I say the only thing that stops me from doing my job is my imagination and your imagination clashing. Okay, here we go. We're flaring it up, giving it a head, more or less. This is looking really good. That's why I like the challenges. Now the antennae, yeah. I guess I can use the amber purple. It's going to be in the same color range, but just a little bit darker than the silver fume tubing or rod that I was working with is coming out here. And there's one eye stalk. Let's do the other. Looking good. Other eye stalk. Any request after this? I'm almost through here. Are we there yet? I've been watching British television through the internet, of course, and one of the shows is, I think, a Zilla or something like that, where they have little snails crawling around, and on top of their snail shells is their own little houses, which is interesting. Oh yeah, the eye stalks are a little bit darker because it's the amber purple, and the amber purple is a striking color. And here we go, we're tapping that off. Oh yeah, perfect. Left a little dimple, but we're going to pull some of that off. Not bad. Matter of fact, I'm going to now put a cold weld right here. And do a little bit more warming out just for a little while. Okay. That is a nice piece. I might even have to keep this for myself. Well, if you want me to show you the twist on a regular snail shell, give me a second and I'll do that. This one is a curl from the green exotic glass. Give me a second here. Now I can do another little miniature snail real quick here. There we go for that. Tough that up a little. Oh, don't tell me that thing's not. Yeah, I got to do a little bit of heat in here and pressing the bottom. Got a little bit of a bump going on. That. Yeah, the bottom is hollow. It's the way I worked it. There we go. Oh yeah, that's better. Much better. Beautiful. I like it. Sweet. Do some miniatures of that and make it into like little beads or something. That'll look cool. Okay. Snail shells. The ones that I do are fairly simple. You can take a nice round ball, and I'm just using the 10 liter per minute oxygen concentrator here. I do have oxygen, another constant, 5 liter per minute that I can add to the mix, but this should do quite nicely for what we're doing, the smaller stuff anyway. Okay. Thanks for being out there, guys. Now, nice round ball. And then once it cools slightly, let it get just a little bit bigger. That should do. And I'm going to fume this one with silver after the fact. Once it cools just slightly, you now take and heat up just one side only. And then you take a punte touch and twist and pull a little bit, and it sort of makes the swirl pattern for the snail shell. Okay, you let it cool and then pull it off. Now, the crazy thing is, yeah, I'm mentioning your name, Crazy. The crazy thing is, you turned it clockwise on this side of the snail, but on this side of the snail, to get the same swirl pattern going on, you're going to have to do it counterclockwise, like so. Swirl, twist, and turn, and then bend it and snap it off. Fire polish to get the same actual curl on one side as the other. Right, right. Did it again. I don't know. Yeah, you can still hear me. Okay, good. Then making the base to this thing, cold weld. I like that snail. I'm glad you gave me the challenge there, Demented. I am going to try to put one of those into a goblet, but not right now. Now, with the rest of the snail, you basically heat and curl up for the head, and heat and curl or heat and touch and make the back half of the snail, like so. There we go. And then I'll do a press to make the base. Press to make the base. And now the antennae. As you can see, I've been using one size fits all rod, but if you have to do some of the things off of like a bigger rod, you can use smaller rods if you have them available. But again, I use what's available without having to drop too many tools or take too many tools down and put another tool up type deal. There we go. Fire polish on top of the shell. And now let's see if we can't fume a little fume. Let's have some fume, a little fume with me. Let's see, do I have one available? No. So you know what I got to do? I got to make one. Let's see if we can do that. Well, that's a piece of quartz. Holy cow. You never know what's on my table. Okay. We'll use this for fuming. It's just a regular piece of boro. Okay. And I'm not sure which. Nope, not that one. Thought I put them back in here, did I? No, there they are. Sorry. Here we go. Wrong direction, but this will do the job. Little chunk of silver. Sterling silver from a necklace that I got when I worked at the dump so many years ago. Oh, come on, guys. There we go. Tightened in so I'm not going to spill it all over the place. Now I'm going to heat up. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that now while I'm thinking of it. Go to a single flame, one source of oxygen, one source for the propane. That gives you a better fuming capability with the silver. Now I'm going to heat up, make a nice hot punte there, and press it right into the. It'll do it after a couple of times. It's a little cold. Needs to be persuaded. Sometimes a couple of times will do. There it went. It's now in there. Okay. And now warm this baby back up a little. Okay. Now we're going to bring it down and put the silver in the flame and let it dance to the other. There we go. Got one little wisp of it. Let's Make it a little longer flame. Oh yeah. There we go. It hits that magical temperature and all you can do. This might not have been a piece of silver. Egads. Come on, guys. Work with me here, huh? It is turning yellow. Maybe that's the problem. Dang it. It's one thing about silver and boro. It tends to the silver tends to embed into the boro really quick. There we go. Not as exciting as it was yesterday or the day before when I did the elephant, but it still got the silver fume going on. And with that, I think I'm going to call it quits for the day. And tune in tomorrow. I have the next couple of days off. Like I said, I had planned to go out of town and do some things, but it didn't happen because price of car fix and price of going to were too much. So had to sacrifice. That way I've got a safe car in the long run. I know I should have rented a car and gone anyway, but no. I needed to take care of business. Um, Thank you for being there, guys. I appreciate you watching. And if you have suggestions on future shows, type it down in the type it down below, and also ask whatever you can, and we'll see what we can do. And as always, carpe vitro, and enjoy your day. Give me a sec. Oh, there we.